I can't even begin to explain what's going on right here. I've tried to fix it, but it's something interesting, that's for sure. What's up, everybody? D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing another Godzilla NECA unboxing. So in this one, we are going to be taking a look at the Godzilla 1989 repaint variant edition, the acid version. Shout out to NECA, they're the ones who make these videos possible. They send me these figures so I can review them for you guys. You can pick up your own NECA figures in Targets, Walmarts, on Amazon. There's lots of places to sell them. Starting out here, we got a different set for the box, so instead of the poster, it's this image from the movie. I really like this picture. It's one of my favorite screenshots. I believe it's an alternate poster for the film. You've got the Japanese title down here, which I like. I like that they're putting those on there now. And then the English title down here, which is also cool that they use the official English title. And then that little text and the little Godzilla logo. On the side, pretty similar setup with the image again, and then the 65 years logo. Same with the other side. On the bottom is just your basic info, and then on the back, you've got some character pictures. So Godzilla with the acid all over him, the font up here, and then the plot description down here. There's also a little Toho logo and the little logo that they used to slap on all the old Godzilla DVD boxes. I believe that's Marvel's Godzilla. It's the little American icon that we use. Good stuff. I like the packaging quite a bit. Opening it up, you've got Godzilla covered in acid right here, and then you've got the actual figure right here. This Biollante is pretty cool. I just saw that. I haven't actually looked at it yet, so that's pretty cool. You got like a Biollante up here. I like the orange. It stands out a lot. Looks really good. Spraying acid all the way across the image. That's really gross. It looks really nasty in this picture. I think that's like a Photoshop because I don't think she actually projectiles her vomit quite like that in the movie. It's interesting that they even thought to make this figure or felt like they had to make it. I don't think anybody was necessarily demanding that we get an acid version of Godzilla, but hey, thank you for making it. I'll never knock anyone for making a figure. I will just question the motives behind it. It's like a weird one to go, that's the variant we want to do. The inside of the box is just like this nasty yellowy green color. It's like a wall of acid vomit, so the inside of the box isn't anything special this time around. This is cool though. I do like that quite a bit. It also looks really cool on the top here with Godzilla and Biollante fighting, with Biollante wrapping all up around Godzilla. It's the same image as down here, but for some reason it looks pretty cool on the top as well. And then here's Godzilla, so let's get him out. Now that's a look that says, "Stop vomiting acid on me, it hurts."
What the hell was that bit?
I'm very tired.
Oh, so at least I knew it sucked even in the moment.
Okay, there you go. Let's start out with the easy stuff. It's the same atomic breath beam as last time. It's the same exact one, has the spiral running down it. Up here at the tip, you have the ridgeline for Godzilla's teeth. It plugs into his mouth very nicely. All this plugs right in, so it goes pretty deep, and it holds very well, so you can move him around a ton while it's in there. As for Godzilla himself, the paint is pretty interesting here. Of course, they're doing some interesting things with it. They've got this green all over to make it look like he's been vomited on, but I want you to pay attention to the eyes if you can. There's really good detailing in the eyes. He's got multi-layered eyes, so he has a pupil and iris, and then he's also got this red ring around his eyes showing that he's in some pain. It's on both eyes. There's this touch of red in his eyes. The mouth is pretty much the same as last time. Very well done. The teeth look great. The mouth looks great. Of course, it goes out of focus right now. Someday I'll have a better setup, but the mouth is really good as well. It's just super well detailed. And then throughout, you've got this green splatter. It looks like it's running down his body. Very cool. There's these particles down here that are a little more brown than green to add some flavor to it. And then he's got some lighter particles as well, some gold all throughout his body. So you get a little bit of a difference here where it doesn't just go one tone green. There is also, I know it's hard to see on the camera, but there's also a difference in the green. There's dark greens and light greens. So it's a little spread throughout so it doesn't just look one tone. Now there is no proper way to line up his body so that it looks like it's all running down in some sort of position. You can line some of it up like right there, but it doesn't actually line up one-to-one on his body, which is okay. It doesn't necessarily need to. That's probably the best you're gonna get it, is something like that. I will say that on the neck, it kind of runs pretty well all the way down, but there's an issue with that. I don't know if you can see. I actually had to take a knife and cut straight through his neck because initially his neck was sealed to his shoulder by this paint. There was like a seal of paint, the same deal on his head, but the head wasn't as bad as the neck. I couldn't articulate his his neck, initially I actually had to take a knife and jam it in there and cut out the paint. Then you do have some splatter on the dorsal fins as well. Overall, this design is significantly more glossy than the original, significantly more, and so it stands out a little more. It's a little brighter and a little less realistic, a little more stylized, but also it makes sense because he's been thrown up on, you know, so he's got this acid vomit on him. So of course he'd be a little shinier. He's a little more wet in this version. I love it, you know, I like that. I like the attention to detail there, that they do give him this glossy look to make him look wet. It is an interesting figure. Again, I don't know if the execution's very well. I think they did a great job executing the idea, and I do appreciate that they included the atomic breath. I think maybe something that would have helped this guy stand out a little more is if they had blue dorsal fins so that he could have the atomic breath with that, and then the green, you could do some contrast between the green and the blue. I think that would have been a little bit better, because ultimately I don't know if the green splatter justifies the need for this figure to exist. Unless you're a big time collector, I don't necessarily think this one's worth going out of your way to pick up, even though I think the sculpt is incredible. If you watched my review of the original figure, it's probably my favorite NECA sculpt that they've ever done. I think it's fantastic. So great job there. Articulation is great. I could run through all the points again. You have a bendy wire in the tip of the tail, so that's one piece. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of articulation in the tail. You can really get it into some cool poses. I actually really like that pose. It's a very Heisei bend right there. You've got a torso that moves. This torso moves a lot better. I heated this figure up a lot more as well so that he could move a little better. You've got hips here. The knees bend in and they kick out, and then the feet turn. There's also pegs on the feet so you can put him on stands if you need, but he stands perfectly fine on his own. As for the arms go out and back. The elbows can lower or raise. The hands can turn all the way around. They're on nice ball joints. And then you can open up the fingers, which I'm always a fan of. I love figures with articulated fingers. As for the neck, once you break the paint seal, if yours has one like mine did, the neck can turn and the head can turn. They're both on ball joints, so you can do as much as you want with them. And then the mouth here is on a little hinge, so you can open it up. Very cool. I will also note that the eyes look great. I know I mentioned the eyes a little bit ago, but the contrast between the white in the eyes and the green in the face really stands out, especially on this eye with all the green around it. Really stands out and looks great. So it's fantastic. There's also some subtler details here, like if you raise up the arms, you can see he's still got splatter underneath the arms. And so overall, this is a very solidly painted figure. As I said, sculpting's great. The dorsal fins look great. Love the way they go from the normal color of his body to the more bony color on the tips here, just like in the movies. Looks really good. From the back, looks a lot like the SH Monstars version when you take away the green. The original release of this guy did. Looks a lot like the SH Monstars 89 version. It's only from the front that they look a little different. I actually think maybe Godzilla looks a little cooler. With all the green paint on his face, it kind of takes away the cartoonish feel of the original release, but I think he looks fantastic. Next to his original release brother, you can see the difference here. As I said, they're the same figures, same sculpts. It's only difference in the paint job. And I think for the paint job that they added on this guy, it looks very good. You can see this guy's a lot more glossy than the original. They have a totally different feel. Especially from way back, you can really see the difference in them. They almost don't even look like the same figure from way far back. That's kind of cool. The green really does stand out on this guy. So I guess from afar, maybe it does justify the existence of this figure. Maybe it is, but again, only for collector's purposes. It feels only justified from a collector's purposes. Like for a kid, I don't think a kid's gonna want this version over this version. I wouldn't as a kid anyways. I was very particular. So I don't think I would have wanted that, and I don't know. I don't necessarily see the justification for going out of your way to get both for your child if you're picking one up for your kid. It seems a little extra unless your kid's really particular in the details like that. As for collectors, I'd say go for it. You know, NECA's a middle-end figure, so they're not going to run you that much money. They're only like $30-something. So that's great. I mean, with the amount of articulation you get packed into this guy and with the paint job and the detailing and the sculpting, $30 is fine. That is a perfect price. These are great. They're heavy. They feel nice in the hand. They look nice. Due to the fact that this is a repainted figure and it's not an original sculpt, I'm going to knock a couple points off because, again, it just does feel like a strange figure to make a variant of. Like, the Burning Godzilla variant makes so much sense to me. It's crazy that if you wouldn't do that. A vomited on Godzilla doesn't justify the need as much, and so for that, I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. Pretty much all the points going to the paint job here and how much it looks different from the original when side by side. They really do seem distinct on their own. But again, just because I don't necessarily think that this is a must-have for anybody, I'm going to say it's a 7.5 out of 10. And that'll do it for this one, guys. Pretty quick review. I really appreciate all the support I get on my videos. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time for the next one. D-Man out.